all to play for, which is so exciting. These teams have to come in here and give it their all.
Have a real nice tempo. Go baseline, watch out.
Oh, my! Oh, baby! All the way down the runway for a big-time throwdown.
Oh, that's a lot of fans out there.
Look at that! The drama keeps continuing, Jenny.
This is just brilliant.
He strikes. Starts as you mean to go on.
But this is the danger of the top two guys, and that nuclear weapon that is.
Whoa, hello, goodbye. Score! In the back of the net.
And shoots. Score!
Of Serie A action. We'll bring you so much of it here on DAZN.
Magnificent. That is tremendous.
Catching up on any NFL game is easier than ever before.
Going deep for it all. Devontae Smith. He has got it. Touchdown.
Your Eagles are world champions again.
DAZN is the home of boxing.
Really spurs you on, gets you going.
Let's make history. Pure power. There's no way back from this, surely.
Tomorrow is Juan's graduation, so
that deserves a toast. Yes, I'll order some drinks on DoorDash.
game's about to start.
Stay for the game.
Always watch games together.
Stay for coffee. I'm never leaving, am I?
The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
The world has been waiting for. The judges are ready. The fighters are ready. The boxing world is ready. The fight starts now. Let's go.
How do you like it? On the show.
So aggressive, so focused.
It all comes down to this. Press conference live on DAZN.
Un aplauso para mami y papi, porque en verdad rompieron.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming to you live from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, the fight capital of the world. And what a matchup we have for you this Saturday night in our main event. Raymond Muratalla and Andy Cruz for the IBF Championship of the World. And with that, we say hello as we welcome you inside the Fontainebleau Resort and Casino and Convention Center. My name is Todd Grisham. This is the former junior middleweight champion of the world in the flesh, Sergio Mora. And Sergio, some Las Vegas fights get a lot of hype, make a lot of noise. Some fly under the radar like this one has, but it could turn out to be one of the best fights of 2026.
Excellent fight because it's a style matchup. We got Muratalla, a newly minted world champion. We don't know if he's a boxer or a puncher. He's a little bit of both. We know that Andy Cruz is a strict boxer, but he's coming along believing he can be a puncher as well. Excellent style matchup. Both have a lot to prove. This for a world championship. It doesn't get bigger than this.
And a kind of a grudge match. Khalil Coe is taking on Jesse Hart. Sergio, break down that matchup for us. How much fun is that fight going to be?
Oh, man, I think that has the potential to be the fight of the night as well, because the thing about Khalil Coe, he likes mixing it up. And he's fighting a Philly fighter that's never been knocked out. He has a lot to prove. Good on the outside. Jesse Hart is a live dog in this one.
Yeah, we'll hear from all four of those fighters. And the main portion of our press conference, we're going to start it first with the undercard card as we take a look at what's in store for you coming up Saturday night. A total of 7 fights on the card, 2 of them coming on before the bell. Here are the 5 main card fights. Zaquin Moses in action, the young stud Amari Jones from Orlando, Florida. He's fighting for the 4th time in his professional career. Israel Madrimov in the super welterweight division. Let's see how he bounces back from that tough fight against Virgil Ortiz Jr. And then Khalil Coe versus Jesse Hart. That should be a banger in the light heavyweight division. And of course, the main event for the IBF Lightweight Championship of the World. Both undefeated. Raymond Muratalla taking on Andy Cruz, who's only had 6 professional bouts. More on those fights in a few minutes, but right now, let's send it to the stage and Mr. Eddie Hearn.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the beautiful Fontainebleau Resort here in Las Vegas, ahead of a huge night of World Championship boxing this Saturday, live and exclusive on DAZN around the world. Boxing is red hot. We're just fresh off the back of a showreel performance and knockout from Dalton Smith to beat Subriel Matias for the World Championship. And over the next, 8 or 9 days, boxing is coming at you hot and fast live on DAZN. Of course, this Saturday, live from Las Vegas, we have a phenomenal fight card. Not just the incredible talent to my right and, of course, left as well, but the second part of our press conference today, where, of course, Andy Cruz looks to add to his World Championship and Olympic gold medals, trying to become world lightweight champion against Raymond Muratalla. And, of course, a brilliant co-main event, Jesse Hart against Khalil Coe, the bad blood match for New Jersey against Philadelphia. That's coming up soon. And before we talk about these guys, don't forget next Saturday as well, a massive doubleheader live on DAZN. From Newcastle in the UK, Josh Kelly looks to become another British world champion against a phenomenal fighter in Muratayev, looking to become IBF 154-pound champion. On the same night, a sold-out Madison Square Garden for the Ring Magazine card, Teofimo Lopez against Shakur Stevenson, and just a phenomenal undercard as we move into February for Wood Warrington. And, of course, that incredible matchup in Phoenix, Arizona, between Sugar Nunes, looking to unify the division against Navarrete. Red-hot action live on DAZN, and we all start this year, this Saturday, in Las Vegas. You look at the talent to my right, it's a 5-fight card on the main broadcast on Saturday, and 2 of our youngest guys, who we believe will go on to become world champions themselves, look to kick off the action. Zaquin Moses, of course, whose cousin Shakur Stevenson has the big business to take care of next week. Olympic medalist Amari Jones as well, and tough opposition here. And so happy and pleased to see the man to my right back, Israel Madrimov, former world champion. You saw him in brilliant fights against Terence Crawford and Virgil Ortiz as well. Back to fight for the championship in 2026 as well. Zaquin, we'll start with you. Leandro Medina, your opponent. It's a big step up, kicking off the broadcast, coming into your own, still a young man, but ready for the next chapter on Saturday.
I mean, yeah, man. I want to say I'm happy I'm back. I can't complain. I've been out here training for a long time. I mean, I'm just ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to shine. I can't wait to Saturday night.
Every time Kevin Rooney gives me the build-up notes for these fight cards and the press conference, he always says, this is Zaquin's toughest test yet. And you keep flying through these tough tests, but expect a good action-packed fight against Medina on Saturday.
For sure. You could expect a beating. I mean, expect me punching on somebody, expect me shining, expect me showing my skills, and like I said, man, I can't wait.
How's camp been? Shakur looks more than ready for next Saturday as well. Looking just to do your thing this Saturday and then head to New York for what will be a memorable fight for the family next weekend.
I mean, for sure. I mean, I'm up first. I got to handle business first. Then after that, he got to handle business next week, and then we can celebrate.
Well, Medina, welcome. This guy says he's going to give you a beating on Saturday, but they tell me you come with big ambitions, ready to go to war against Zaquin Moses in Las Vegas.
Sí, en primer lugar, bienvenido, Leandro. Acabamos de hablar con tu oponente y dice que te va a dar una paliza el sábado por la noche, pero tú vienes con mucha ambición, listo para lo que será una guerra este sábado por la noche.
Bueno, antes que nada, buenas noches y bueno, lo espero el sábado. Nos vemos el sábado entonces, no tengo más nada que decir. Hicimos una buena preparación, un buen campamento y nos vemos el sábado.
All I can say is, let's see you on Saturday. We'll see you on Saturday. I have nothing more to say. We've had a great camp. See you on Saturday.
Well, we shall see on Saturday as Zaquin Moses steps up against Leonardo Medina. This fight's another great fight. Kevin Rooney tells me again, Amari Jones, who's looked sensational since turning professional after medaling at the Paris Olympics, steps up against Jerome Baxter. It's 4-0 against 7-0. These are the fights that we want to see for our young contenders, the guys, the prospects that we believe will go on and fight for and challenge for world championships. And so far, Amari's been absolutely spotless, faultless. Looked $1 million. We believe this is one of the top prospects in world boxing. And Jerome, we'll start with you. You accepted this fight straight away, 7-0 against 4-0, Las Vegas, live around the world on DAZN. Big night for you.
I just want to thank God, you know, for the opportunity. I also want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to showcase my talents. And, you know, I'm just here to the underdog coming in, blue chip collar kid from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I'm coming to represent. And I'm finna show what Pittsburgh's really about. So,
what do you do when you're fighting a guy like Amari Jones, someone who's incredibly well skilled, great amateur pedigree as well? You have to show him that side of the fight game as well. We believe he can mix it up, but you have to go in there and bring that fight to him.
I'm an experienced fighter. You know, he's not the only Olympian I face. I've been in the amateur circuit, so I've seen all different types of fighters, all different types of styles. So I'm prepared. I'm ready to show what I got to show and prove that.
And finally, probably as you talk about that background that you've had, you know, the smaller shows, I guess more than motivated for this kind of opportunity and one that the victory can make a huge difference to your life.
Absolutely. You know, this is once in a lifetime, you know, chance you get. And this is all for my mom and my sister. I lost them last year to cancer, both. And I've been battling that, and that's what brought me here. So I'm going to keep fighting hard, and I'm going to show that on Saturday, January the 24th.
Thank you, Jerome. Amari, you asked for it. Your training team said, we want to step up now. You know the story, you know the hunger. This is a real test for you on Saturday night, but one that you want and one that you feel you're ready for.
Absolutely. I'm more than ready for this opportunity. This is what I come here for. I've been to levels like the Olympics and fighting in front of 15,000. So this for me is really a stepping stone, and I know he's coming to fight, but I'm just here to show that it's levels. My team believe in me, Matchroom believe in me. So we took this fight for a reason.
How excited are you for those kind of fights? You know, everything so far has been quite straightforward. They weren't supposed to be, but you're that good. You made it look easy. How excited are you to see a guy coming at you to win that might stand up and hold up to the power early on and the sharpness early on, and someone that's going to really test those tough training camps that you've been having?
Definitely. That's what we wanted. A lot of the fights have been cut short, and we'll see how long this one will last. But like I said, I'm here to show that it's levels, and I believe that he hasn't been on this level and fought a fighter like me. And I'm coming in to go to work. So let's see.
Well, tremendous fight. Amari Jones 4-0, Jerome Baxter 7-0. Two, as I said, of our outstanding prospects. And this fight, a very important fight for what is one of the best divisions in boxing right now, 154-pound division, which we've seen Israel Madrimov become a world champion as well. Luis Salazar, the opponent. Luis, welcome. You're getting a guy who's been a world champion. His last two fights have been Terence Crawford and Virgil Ortiz, but he's coming off defeats, ready to test this man on Saturday night in Las Vegas.
Sí, en primer lugar, bienvenido, Luis. Obviamente vas a enfrentar a lo que era ex campeón del mundo. Ha tenido 2 derrotas, pero obviamente enfrentando a Crawford y Virgil Ortiz también. Peleas difíciles. ¿Estás listo para poner a prueba tu oponente este sábado aquí en Las Vegas?
Sí, muy buenas tardes a todos televidentes. Y nada, primeramente darle gracias a Dios por la oportunidad y a la empresa que me dio la oportunidad también de estar aquí. Soy un boxeador que ha estado guardado o engavetado, pero con mucha experiencia, y creo que es un reto más de mi vida, primeramente, porque he pasado por muchas pruebas, primeramente amateur y luego profesional, y un reto más. Y nada, darle las gracias a Dios por estar aquí nuevamente, y ese día creo que va a haber una historia nueva, porque creo, si se recuerdan la historia de Goliat cuando mató a David, esa noche yo creo que se la van a cortar la cabeza a Goliat. Gracias.
Hi, all. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to God for allowing me to be here. I want to say also thank you to the promoters. And what I want to say is that, you know, I'm a fighter that you could say has been avoided in the past, but I'm very experienced. I believe that this fight is another challenge for me, another one that I go into, because in life I've had many challenges. I've had great tests as an amateur fighter, also in the professional games as well. So I want to give thanks once again to God. And I think this day on Saturday night will go down in history, because I think you remember the story of David and Goliath. I think you'll remember that on Saturday night, and you'll see that Goliath comes out victorious.
Oh, thank you. Luis, Israel, it's so good to see you back. You had probably the toughest run of any fighter with Crawford and Virgil Ortiz, and two incredible fights, two very close fights, some surgery, recovering the body, ready to return to boxing on Saturday night in Las Vegas.
Hi, Alhamdulillah, I'm here and come back to work. I'm happy. You know, after last fight, I have the problem my body, injuries, but I'm feeling good now, ready for the fight. And then thanks my opponent, respect my opponent in his team. We are doing Saturday night, great night, inshallah.
Obviously, you had just a small number of fights when you fought Terence Crawford, and then you went straight in to Virgil Ortiz as well. Looking forward to start building again. It seems like you were thrown into those big fights. You were ready. You had the amateur pedigree, and they were two very close fights. But good to be back and build towards those big fights again in 2026.
Начинается сейчас, ты был брошен в серьезные бои, и сейчас как бы заново начинается все. Ты готов к тому, что нужно идти к титулу?
Yeah, I have the big plan this year, inshallah. First of all, this Saturday, I think only, and then we'll see. And then I want belts, I want big names, inshallah.
Well, it's great to see you back. Israel Madrimov, Uzbekistan Power in the house on Saturday night, the Fontaine Blue in Las Vegas. And what a fight card this is, as we said before. Muratalla against Andy Cruz for the World Championship. Khalil Coe against Jesse Hart. Zaquin Moses against Medina. The big undefeated fight, of course, between Amari Jones and Jerome Baxter. And the former world champion, Israel Madrimov, back in action against Salazar. We're going to face these guys off now before we head to this main section of the press conference. Over to the guys.
All right, thank you, Eddie. Some interesting comments from the fighters up there. Israel Madrimov, back-to-back fights against two of the best pound-for-pound fighters probably in the world today. Terence Crawford, obviously, Virgil Ortiz Jr. But mentally, where do you think he's at right now after going undefeated and then losing back-to-back fights?
Look, whenever you have an amateur background like Madrimov, you're not going to get intimidated by guys like Bud Crawford or Virgil Ortiz. Maybe a boxer puncher like Bud and a tremendous puncher and knockout artist like Ortiz. So he doesn't have a lot of fights, but he has a lot of experience. So this ain't going to derail him at all.
So our first stare down of the night, 5 fights on the card, including 2 before the bell. So a total of 7 fights. And there's Zaquin and Leonardo Medina. Your first fight of the night on the main card. A lot of high hopes for Zaquin. And then, speaking of, Amari Jones, Sergio, we've called almost all of his fights. This guy is a bad man.
Yeah, he is, and he's a power puncher. He's one of these guys that knows how to set up his power because he has the height, he has the length, but he uses it responsible. What I like about Amari Jones is the fact that he's a highly touted amateur, but he doesn't go for the knockout. He sets it up, so he's very mature for his age. I'm really impressed with the future of Amari Jones.
He'll be taking on Jerome Baxter, another undefeated fighter. Sometimes you want a guy that's had at least one loss, but both these men coming over undefeated. Someone's always got to go. I'm contractually obligated to say that in boxing when you have 2 undefeated fighters. And now a fighter on the left of your screen, Israel Madrimov, only 2 losses. Taking on Luis David Salazar. He's only lost once. And Sergio, he's coming in red hot right now, but all of his fights recently have been in his home country of Dominican Republic. How dangerous do you think he'll be?
Well, listen, he has a good record, and carries good pop, but he's in there with a fighter that he's gonna have to really get the respect, go to the body, because Madrimov has the footwork, and if you can't get on the inside to break that range, get to the body, you're not gonna get to the head.
Today, the press conference. Tomorrow, the weigh-in, and that will be at 1 o'clock Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. That's when the guys will take the shirt off and give you the real stare down, right? You want to go right now? Why are you looking at me like that? We're changing chairs right now, and we're going to bring out the co-main and the main event. Of course, Khalil Ko back in action. Those 2 back-to-back fights against Gallegos. The first fight, he was stopped. Sergio showed some vulnerability. Then went down to Mexico for the rematch and literally threw, 1,000 jabs in a row and dominated that fight and got the stoppage. What do you expect from him? Taking out Jesse Hart. Sorry.
Well, the thing is, he's going to have to show Hart against Jesse Hart. Hart is one of these Philadelphia fighters that's already been through the mill. He's fought some of the best fighters. He's only lost to champions, so he's a championship caliber fighter that brings a lot to the table, and this might be his last hurrah. A lot of hunger. He's on a win streak. He brings that Philly heart, and he has the veteran skill. This is going to be another difficult fight for Khalil Ko, and I think maybe the fight of the night. Ko's going to have his hands full.
Well, Ko keeps saying that he thinks Hart is going to run. He said, bring your running shoes, because I know that's exactly what you're going to be doing. Have you ever seen Hart fight like that? Do you expect him to run away from the power?
He boxes, and look, he's from Philadelphia. We know that they have a reputation for fighting. So if Ko can bring it out of him, there's no way he's going to run the entire time. Jesse Hart likes to move, likes to use his height, his reach. Yeah, sometimes a little bit too much boxing. I don't call it running because it's boxing, but that's how you beat a fighter like Khalil Ko.
You know, I looked at the odds on the way in here, and right now Khalil Ko about an 8-1 favorite over Jesse Hart. We're talking about a guy who's lost one of his last 2 fights. Did those odds surprise you? Are they disrespecting the veteran in Jesse Hart?
They're disrespecting a Philadelphia fighter in Jesse Hart, who's only lost to 2 world champions. I mean, Khalil Ko is not yet to be on the championship level, and to be an underdog by that much of a disparity, that's a slap in the face for the Philadelphia fighter.
All right, let's talk quickly about the main event. Andy Cruz taking on Raymond Muratalla. Cruz just 6 pro bouts, Sergio. They're throwing him right to the tip top. Do you think he's ready for this fight?
Wow, of course. I mean, Andy Cruz has been ready. I mean, even with 6 fights, I mean, he's part of the cloth of these fighters that don't need a lot of experience on the pro level, because they already have so much experience on the amateur level. I mean, Olympic gold medalist. He's hard to hit, but he's coming around his power with that Philadelphia power. So it's the Philadelphia power with a Cuban background. He's dangerous.
All right, let's hear from the fighters right now as we go back to the stage and the chairman of Matchroom, Mr. Eddie Hearn.
Well, welcome back. We're just chatting up here. What a fight card on Saturday night, live and exclusive around the world on DAZN from the Fontainebleau here in Las Vegas. And 2 fights I cannot wait for this Saturday. Of course, the main event, the world champion Raymond Muratalla, 23-0 against the former Olympic gold medalist Andy Cruz, 6-0, stepping up to challenge for the IBF world lightweight title. And of course the big light heavyweight matchup as well, Khalil Ko from New Jersey against Jesse Hart. We're talking about Philadelphia in the house because of course we've got Bozy Ennis here as well. We've got Evan Korn from Top Rank as well, Robert Garcia, and also sitting up here starting to get the feels of a possible Bozy Ennis Robert Garcia matchup, maybe in the future. You never know our luck. We hope so. But tremendous fighters, tremendous trainers, great promotional companies coming together to provide a great fight night for subscribers on DAZN around the world on Saturday. Let's talk about that co-main event, a fight that was supposed to happen on the last Boots Ennis card. We've heard plenty of talk, we've heard plenty of bad blood, but this fight's so important. Shout out to, of course, Khalil Ko, who lost against Gallegos in Philadelphia, came back, went to Mexico in his backyard to avenge that defeat. And Jesse Hart, a 2-time world champion, a title challenger, looking to fight for the world championship again. An absolute must-win for both guys. Jesse, let's start with you. Welcome. I've loved the build-up between you 2 guys. I loved the head-to-head yesterday. But the fact remains, both of you must win this fight on Saturday night. How are you going to do it?
You know, I'm not going to reveal that just yet, but, you know, I'm here. I showed up. I'm ready to fight. All systems is go. I'm in tremendous shape. And we just have to see Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? All the talk is done. He said what he going to do, and all this is on. I'm here.
Well, the talking's not done because this is the press conference. I'm going to ask you a few more questions, if you don't mind.
Go ahead. I'm saying all the trash. Let's go.
You 2 have sparred before. You come into this fight with a huge amount of confidence. Why is that? What gives you the belief you beat this man on Saturday?
Me being me. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Me being me. I ain't never not be confident in nothing I ever did in life. So that's who I am as a man. I'm confident in myself. I walk around with that.
I know the game plan's not going to be revealed, but you rate this guy. You see him lose that fight against Gallegos. You think he has the ability and the minerals to beat you on Saturday?
No, I don't think he got the minerals or whatever you just said to beat me. It's not even in. That's not even in the cards. He beat a guy that he lost to, and you know what? What you want me to say?
Khalil, welcome. You said yesterday that you heard a lot on social media, but not so much. Now you still feel that energy. You're brimming with confidence ahead of what is a very important fight for your career in Las Vegas.
Man, I'm excited, man. He been talking so much shit on Instagram. You know, I don't do that talking, but the face-to-face it was totally different. You know what I mean? I'm here. I'm here. You said you wanted me to walk out first. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm excited. I can't wait.
That fight in Mexico was massive for you. You know, I was surprised when Keith told me that we want to run it back. It was such a huge moment for your career. It was really on the line there. But this is a big step up and maybe the last hurdle before you fight for a world championship.
Yeah, I'm excited. And it's just like you said, that fight, we had to get it back because we knew what we were capable of. You know what I mean? We went in there and we made it look easy as we were supposed to do the first time, you know. And, yeah, and we proved to make another statement this Saturday.
What do we expect to see from you again? You know, game plan aside, but when you went to Mexico, you ripped up the script. You boxed beautifully well. You took your time. You busted up. We've seen you in Las Vegas before, come out with devastating power and end fights within the first round as well. How do you beat this man on Saturday?
That's one thing. And he said, I'm a pressure fighter. I don't even know how to fight going backwards. You know, this is what he said. So he clearly hasn't seen any of my work. You know what I mean? And he gonna learn on the job. He gonna learn on the job Saturday.
That last fight against a Mexican fighter, we've enjoyed the build-up. You like that? You know, it is Philly against New Jersey. There is a little bit of bad blood here. The fans love it. The fans are excited.
We gonna fight. You know what I mean? We gonna go home. We gonna go to Philly, get a cheesesteak.
That's common. Everybody say that. You gotta come up with something else.
I'm always in Philly, buddy.
Just say something else.
Always in Philly, buddy.
Instead of a cheesesteak.
I'm always in Philly, buddy.
You don't even talk.
I'm always in Philly, buddy. I was at your gym, buddy. You forgot?
And I ain't come to Jersey because y'all ain't. Bozy know, man. We got Bo up here. I ain't really saying.
You don't even go that way.
It's my man.
Go that way.
It's my boo here.
You stop.
Talking about you always in Philly.
I'm always in Philly.
Nobody cares.
All right. I've been in the dungeon. I stay in the dungeon.
You wasn't in the dungeon. That wasn't a real dungeon. Tell him, Bo.
Tell him, Bo. I've been in the dungeon.
That's between you and him, man.
Yeah.
I'm not getting involved.
I've been in the dungeon.
The
first dungeon.
You wasn't in the dungeon.
Okay. Ask. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Tell him.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay.
With the blow heater.
Okay.
Just be quiet.
Okay.
That's some new shit.
Okay.
Nigga, y'all wasn't in no dungeon. Wasn't in no dungeon. Nigga wasn't in no dungeon.
We gonna see, man.
Niggas was talking. They start talking that blow heater shit. Whoever said that, that's the real dungeon. That shit.
That's your coach, dummy.
I can't see. The light blinding me. You got on glasses, dummy.
Dummy, it's your coach, dummy. Come on. Next.
Who next, man?
Okay. Well,
that part.
Getting stepped. Yeah, your man's getting stepped on. The stepper.
Don't run from me.
We getting stepped on.
Don't run from me.
Yeah, you saying?
Don't run from me.
Hey, y'all know what AI did to Tyrone Lue? He stepped the fuck over him. What you talking about? We stepped over steppers over in Philadelphia, kid.
Don't run from me.
That bullshit.
Don't run from me. Little ass legs. Don't run from me. Don't run from me.
okay. Well, we may never find out who was truly in the dungeon, but we will find out who will win this very important fight in 175-pound division, and I can't wait to see you two go at it on Saturday night. So thank you for taking the fight, and we're the winners on Saturday night. Good luck to both of you. Now, we go through to the World Championship fight, the thing that really matters, the belts, the legacy, the history. And this fighter to my right, a tremendous fighter, of course, Andy Cruz, one of the greatest amateurs of all time. It's a delight, as always. We have a number of fights coming up with Top Rank. This one was a purse bid, but we also have, of course, what I said, Navarrete against Nunes coming up in talks with loads of big fights with Top Rank. And Evan Korn, welcome. A big fight for your man. You know, this is a tremendous fight. I wouldn't say one that's been overlooked, because I think everybody in boxing knows how good a fight this is. But everybody in boxing does know that this is a tremendous matchup and a big fight for Top Rank on Saturday.
Excuse me. Thank you, Eddie, and Frank, and Kevin, and all the team at Matchroom for the hospitality. It's always a huge fight for Raymond Muratalla. But in seeing a lot of the promotion and great content team you have over here, Eddie, at Matchroom, a lot of the narrative is Andy Cruz talking about wanting to reunite with his son, another one of our fighters, and Keyshawn Davis, or his son as he calls him. But he's got a hell of a tough task in order to reunite with Raymond Muratalla on Saturday night. Raymond's got the best trainer in the world. He's been developed expertly by Top Rank, by our matchmakers. And, yeah, it's a tall task. It's a tall task for Andy. A lot of people say it's a tough task for Raymond. He's the betting underdog, but we don't see it that way. And, you know, it's 6 fights in the pro game, and the 7th is going to be his hardest by a long shot.
Well, thank you, Evan. And you're right what you say. Robert Garcia, tremendous trainer. Bozy Ennis, tremendous trainer. I think, too, like you said, the very top trainers in world boxing up here. And this is part of what is so intriguing about this matchup. Bozy, I guess you've never had a pro fighter who, after 6 fights, is challenging for the world title. But your man is, word out of camp, red hot, ready to make history on Saturday in Las Vegas.
Yes, he's ready. He's ready. And I know he's going up against a great fighter. You know what I mean? And I respect his trainer also. You know what I mean? And all we do is we're just ready to fight, man. I don't do too much talking, man. I just like to fight. You know what I mean?
Tell us about that sort of lack of, and that is your phone going off, Bozy. I'm pretty sure that is your phone. Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry. You know, you can get away with that. You're part of the team.
Yeah, okay.
If it was maybe Evan or something, we'd really call him out.
Yeah.
But that lack of professional experience doesn't really matter. I mean, obviously, it's always, you know, great to have the rounds in the bank as a pro. But when he's done what he's done, you see him day in, day out. You fully believe this is his moment to become world champion.
Yeah, I think it's his moment right now. You know what I mean? He done everything in the amateurs, right? And I didn't take nothing away from him. All I did was add on. You know what I mean? And so we're going to be ready, though. You know what I mean? May the best man win, but I'm for sure my guys going to win.
Robert, again, quite strange for you facing a guy who's 6-0 for a world championship as well. You've been around a long time as a fighter and a trainer as well. Aware of the quality of Andy Cruz, but confident, like Evan, that this is the man that will grasp victory in Las Vegas.
100%. Look, first of all, it's a great thing that you guys are doing together with Top Rank. You know, next month, same thing. You know, it's something that boxing needs. Boxing needs is people to unite, promoters to unite, and do these big fights happen. You know, I respect Andy. You know, he's a gold medalist. You know, he's 6-0, challenging for a world title. That says a lot about him. He's got that. He's got the heart to do it. But you know, I do have the champion, and I know what we have. I know what we have. He's ready. He's ready for whatever they bring to the table.
For those that haven't seen Raymond Muratalla, we saw, of course, you know, a great performance against Zara Abdullayev as well. You know, a big puncher. You know, great fundamentals as well. Tell us about this man who Andy has to face at the weekend.
Look, it's going to be a great fight. You know, we don't want to review anything, but it's going to be a great fight. You know, we're in great shape. I know he is too. He looks great. You know, we're going to put up a good fight. And, you know, I know that we're ready to take off the win, 100%.
Thanks, Robert. Andy, welcome. Listen, when we signed you, we talked about the desire to fight for world championships as quickly as possible. 6 fights, some great experience, but, you know, as Evan said, there is no doubt this is the big step up for you on Saturday night.
Andy, en primer lugar, bienvenido. Cuando hicimos como ese contrato, cuando te firmamos primera vez, siempre hablamos del deseo de conseguir un título del mundo lo antes posible. Me hemos movido muy rápido, has tenido 6 peleas, pero como ha dicho Evan, esto sería la subida de escalón más grande en tu carrera este sábado, será el retador para ganar el título del mundo.
Así es, primeramente darle las buenas tardes a todos los presentes, gracias por apoyar este evento, decirles que yo nací listo para este tipo de eventos, siempre lo digo y el sábado voy a demostrarlo. Esta es una oportunidad que vengo esperando desde que llegué acá. Me llegó ahora y la pienso aprovechar al máximo.
So yeah,
Yes,
firstly I'd like to say hi to everyone that's present. Thanks to everyone for supporting this event. And what I'd like to say is that, you know, I was born for these types of events. I've said this a lot, that I was born for these events. Saturday, I get the chance to show this as well with actions. It's an opportunity that's come this way, and look, I'm looking forward to taking full advantage of it on Saturday night.
How different has camp been for you? I know some of those fights that you were in early in your career, you kind of knew the outcome. I know you always train hard, but is there a little bit extra this time in training camp? Of course, knowing it's for the world title, but knowing it's this man.
Hablamos un poco de, ha sido diferente este campamento. Obviamente, cuando iniciaste en el campo profesional, tenías como peleas que sabías más o menos el resultado de esas peleas. Esto es diferente. No sé si ha habido algo extra en ese campamento sabiendo que vas a disputar ese título del mundo.
Siempre, desde que llegué, soy consciente que cada pelea se va a ir haciendo más difícil, cada combate es más complicado, por lo tanto cada campamento es más intenso, más fuerte, y este no fue la excepción. Sé que voy a enfrentar un gran rival como Muratalla y eso es lo que me motiva más.
Yeah, so I think with every camp that I go into, I've always been conscious of the fact that with each new fight comes a more difficult and more complex fight to deal with. So that's been reflected in my camp. I think this camp itself has been really intense, really difficult, really strong. You know, it's not been the exception, this camp. And it's because I know I have a great opportunity on Saturday night to face Raymond Muratalla in what would be a really tough fight for me. So the camp's been really intense and strong.
And finally, Olympic gold medalist. You're going for the big double on Saturday. Olympic gold medalist, world professional champion. What would it mean to you to become world champion on Saturday night here in Las Vegas?
Sí, sabemos de esa medalla de oro que conseguiste. Vas por el doblete, ¿no? Este sábado, ganar no solamente la medalla de oro, también el título del mundo en el campo profesional. ¿Qué significaría para ti conseguir ese reto y convertirte en campeón del mundo aquí en Las Vegas este sábado?
Realmente lo tomaría como mi final olímpica a nivel profesional. Sé que esta es una gran oportunidad, la oportunidad que quiere todo peleador, y yo cuando la agarro no la suelto.
So I would take it as almost like my Olympic final in the professional game. I know this is a huge opportunity for me to go on and win this world title on Saturday night, and it's an opportunity that I will not let slip away. Once I get my hands on it, it will not slip away.
Thank you, Andy. Raymond, welcome. A lot of people quite surprised you're the betting underdog in this fight. I'm sure you don't see it and your team don't see it as well, but I guess that's the amateur experience, the pedigree of Andy Cruz, ready to defend your world title on Saturday night in Las Vegas.
Absolutely. Absolutely ready. All the hard work is done. I mean, being with Robert, man, just a lot of talented work there, and just overall feel great and ready for Saturday.
Obviously, last time against Abdullayev, you got the situation with the interim championship and the elevation as well. Feels a little bit like, I know you're a world champion in your own right, but this is the one that really cements you in the 135-pound division. You feel that as well, almost like a mini breakout fight to break through to those big fights.
Exactly. I think that's what I want. I want the big fights. Whatever happened. It is what it is. I'm the champ, so I'll be defending my title Saturday, and that's what I want. I want to get past this so I can get bigger fights going.
And again, just 6 fights in, don't take too much from that. You know he has plenty of skill, but looking to use that experience, that heart, that engine against Andy on Saturday.
Yeah, I know he has the experience, but yeah, 6 fights is just, I think it's too soon for him, and I'm going to show that Saturday.
No doubt in your mind, and the new, no, is not happening for Andy Cruz, and still, what's he going to be?
And still.
Yeah. Andy?
No creo.
I don't think so.
And the new. Yes, sir.
Yes.
And the new. Yeah, yo estoy consciente de la calidad del rival. Sé que es un gran peleador. Sé que no por gusto es el campeón. Pero creo que mañana será su última noche con el cinturón.
So I'm conscious of the quality of my opponent. You know, he didn't win that world title by chance. It's not by chance that he's the world champion. But tomorrow, he'll have to enjoy his final night with that belt.
No words?
Ready to go.
Ready to go. As are we. Saturday night here at the wonderful Fontainebleau in Las Vegas, live on DAZN around the world. As we said, what a lineup coming thick and fast on DAZN. Saturday night, Fontainebleau, Las Vegas, the main event. Raymond Muratalla against Andy Cruz for the world lightweight title. Of course, that other brilliant matchup as well, Khalil Coe against Jesse Hart. Next week, Josh Kelly against Muratalla for the 154-pound world title on the same night as a sold-out Madison Square Garden. Shakur Stevenson against Teofimo Lopez. Emmanuel Navarrete as well against Sugar Nunez coming in February. Wood Warrington. We don't stop every single week live on DAZN. We're going to face off the guys here now. Tune in for the weigh-in tomorrow and a brilliant night of boxing on Saturday. Thank you.
And that was Eddie Hearn. I think he stole all my thunder. I don't have anything to say now, right?
He is the best.
Let's talk about that main event. Raymond Muratalla, very calm, didn't have much to say. Andy Cruz seemed to be extremely confident for a guy that's only had 6 pro fights. How do you see that fight stylistically playing out?
Well, Raymond Muratalla is a mid-range fighter, and Andy Cruz is a long-range fighter. So there's going to be a style matchup there. But we know that Cruz can punch. He has 50% knockout ratio. But the puncher's Muratalla. They're going to have to get on the inside.
All right, here's our co-main event, Khalil Coe and Jesse Hart. So much trash talk in the prior weeks building up to this on Instagram and in their digital face-to-face. But today, Jesse Hart, much more reserved. Why do you think that was?
Well, Jesse Hart is a veteran. He's been to this stage. He's been against punchers like Joe Smith. He's been against champions like Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. So Khalil Coe's not intimidating anybody. So this man has been there. And if there's going to be an upset, the dark horse is right there from Philadelphia in Jesse Hart.
That's getting heated now. New Jersey versus Philly. I still can't believe Khalil Coe is a 7-1, in some places even an 8-1 favorite over Jesse Hart. How's that possible?
I just don't get it. I mean, Khalil Coe has been stopped, and he's in there with a veteran that's been with some of the best that's never been stopped. So I don't get it. Those odds confuse me.
Either way, that is a can't-miss co-main event. And you can see now Hart has plenty to say. Still jabber-jawing at the young Khalil Coe. And now we'll get our face-off for the main event, Muratalla and Andy Cruz.
I can't wait for this fight. And I love the demeanor of the champion in Raymond Muratalla. He knows that he has to prove himself to everybody in the division as a world champion. And he knows he's dealing with an Olympic champion. But can he bring that? Can he transition that, Andy Cruz, and become a world champion on the professional level? We're going to find out.
If you're Muratalla, do you go right after Cruz early to see what he's made of, or do you play things a little more cautiously?
I think it's going to be a hybrid of being a puncher and a boxer in that sense. I think he's going to have to show that he's a bigger puncher here and get the respect of Andy Cruz, but then he's going to have to put in a different gear before he gets on cruise control and start boxing as well.
Well, you said cruise control. Andy Cruz has not really been thoroughly tested yet. He's never been taken down into the deep waters. He's never been seriously hurt and had to come back. He's never been dropped. There's a lot of experiences he just hasn't gone through yet. What will happen when he has to face the fire on Saturday night?
Yeah, those are the questions we have about a lot of Cuban boxing aficionados. What if he gets hit? What kind of shock can he take? What if doesn't really happen whenever you box that brilliantly? Whenever you can control a fight round after round after round, you know, you don't have to prove to people that you have the chin because you don't get hit.
So how does he beat Raymond Muratalla? If you're in the corner of Andy Cruz, what's your game plan?
Well, you got to get respect as well, but you do that in the middle rounds. So in the early rounds, you start boxing, stay in your distance, maintain your range. Then you start digging at the body of Muratalla. You bend him in half, and you're going to have to fight in the third part of the fight, in the latter part of the rounds. That's when the Philadelphia fighter comes out. That's where Bozianis, everything they've been teaching this brilliant Cuban southpaw, how to fight. You know, so I think it's going to be a hybrid of everything that you need from the Sweet Science.
And two great trainers as well. Ennis versus Robert Garcia. Two great fighters. Great co-main event. And of course, that main event, Andy Cruz and Raymond Muratalla. You see it live here on DAZN. Let's take a look at the full fight card one final time. We've got 5 fights on the main card and 2 fights on Before the Bell. Zaquin Moses taking on Leandro Medina. Omari Jones from Orlando, Florida. He's 4-0, taking on another undefeated fighter in Jerome Baxter. Israel Madrimov trying to bounce back after back-to-back tough defeats to Crawford and Ortiz Jr. He'll be taking on Luis David Salazar. And then that co-main event, Khalil Coe and Jesse Hart. And then right at the top of the bill for the IBF lightweight world title, Raymond Muratalla and Andy Cruz. That's going to do it for me and Sergio live here. Wait a minute. We have a special guest.
Uh-oh.
Just crashing the set, ladies and gentlemen. The chairman of Matchroom has even more to say. Eddie Hearn joining us now. Eddie, things were kind of slow moving there for a bit, but they heated up there during the stare down between Khalil Coe and Jesse Hart.
Yeah, it's. I love the build-up. You know, and sometimes actually, Khalil Coe, I think, is a fantastic prospect. We saw him suffer a defeat in Philly. He ran it back in Mexico. You have to give him credit. Sometimes you need a fight like this because it grabs the attention of the people. We know that all of a sudden the face-off up there, the numbers that this is generating, the narrative that it's generating as well, and that's what you need. You need people to tune in. It's a great fight. It's a tough fight. I mean, it's a tricky fight for Khalil Coe. Jesse Hart's a serious campaigner, and you know, I love the matchup.
If you were setting the betting line for that fight, though, we're shocked. Right now, they have him as an 8-1 underdog, Jesse Hart.
Yeah.
Is that how you would see this
Well,
fight?
I mean, I think, you know, if he hadn't have gone back to Mexico and run it back against Gallegos, maybe that would have been more of an even money matchup.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think it's the style of Jesse Hart as well. Actually, when he was in his real prime, he was a guy that was massively avoided because of technically how good he was. I remember, you know, we had Bivol at the time. You know, we had a lot of light heavyweights that were around that World Championship who didn't really want to fight Jesse Hart because he's a guy with a very good IQ. But so's Khalil Coe. Don't forget, this is a guy who was a tremendous amateur himself. And, you know, it'd be interesting to see how the fight plays out.
When this fight got presented, how did Khalil Coe react? Because this is one of these fights that could turn against not only your promotional company, but against Khalil Coe, who has been stopped.
Yeah, I think it was definitely one that was, you know, again, when you put forward Jesse Hart, a lot of the guys, a lot of the managers, a lot of the trainers are like, you know, that's a tough fight.
It
like,
is.
He's a good fighter. He has a good IQ. He's, you know, he knows his way around the ring. But also, I look at it like this. If you can't beat Jesse Hart, you ain't going to win a world championship at 175 pounds. And I want guys that are championship ready. So there's only so much protecting you can do. And you don't need to protect Khalil Coe because he's lost already. And by the way, we found out what he was about when he took the rematch in Mexico and went and done the business. So there's nothing to lose. But there's no point messing around and beating around the bush. You're either good enough or you're not. If you can compete with the likes of Bivol and Beterbiev and Benavidez and even Callum Smith and Yard and those kind of guys, you're going to beat Jesse Hart. You're going to find a way. If you don't beat Jesse Hart, you ain't got a prayer with those guys.
Well, there you go.
So this is part of the education. And as always, if you're good enough, you will win.
As for the main event, one of the narratives surrounding this matchup is that Muratalla was kind of forced into this fight, that he didn't necessarily want to fight someone like Andy Cruz. How do you see it? Do you think he really wanted to fight this guy?
No, I mean, look, that's why we got Andy Cruz in a mandatory position. Andy Cruz, obviously a souped-up version of Jesse Hart in the respect of you're not going to pick Andy Cruz. We always knew that when he turned professional, no world champion is going to go, yeah, let's pick Andy Cruz as a voluntary. You stay away from him. He's got too much skill. He's got too much ability. The footwork's too confusing. So we got him into a mandatory position until we forced that purse bid. And if Raymond Muratalla wants to remain world champion, he has to beat Andy Cruz. I've got to be honest, when I won the purse bid, I wasn't 100% sure we'd be here today.
Yeah.
I thought maybe he moves to 140. So respect to him and to Robert. I'm a little bit surprised that Andy is such a big favourite going into this fight. I see it as a 50-50 matchup. You know, as much as I rate Andy Cruz, I rate Muratalla. He's 23-0. He's a hell of a fighter. But there is that hype behind Andy, and of course, because of his accolades as an amateur as well, where you just expect him to win. You expect him to be good, too good. You expect him to find a way. But what happens if we go 6, 7, 8, 9 rounds and this becomes a war?
Yeah.
He hasn't been there yet. I believe he's going to win, and I trust Bozy. I mean, by the way, and what I said up there, I mean it. I mean, if we can get Boots against Ortiz, you're going to see those two guys going at it again. Bozy and Robert are two of the very best in the game. But I said to Bozy coming off the stage, he's like, "Yeah, wait till you see this Saturday." I said, "Are we ready, Bozy?" He went, "Oh my God, more than ready." And Bozy's not that guy to kind of talk. No. So, you know, we're very expectant of a superstar performance from Andy Cruz. And as much as I said to Muratalla, this is your fight to sort of break out. This is Andy's fight as well to break out. Everybody in boxing knows how good Andy Cruz is. This is the fight to announce yourself on that big stage.
And become a champion. I mean, at only a handful of fights for Andy Cruz to become a champion. You have that much belief that this man can become a champion in half a dozen fights?
I hope so. You know, like we said before, you never know until you go there. I mean, by far the toughest test of his career. But, you know, listen, if it goes wrong, maybe we all sit there and everybody, I don't know, blames me or something and says, why did you move so fast? That was the plan. You don't win Olympic gold twice, and you don't win World Championship, and you know, I mean, this is a guy, like I said, I know it's the amateurs, but when we say he beat Keyshawn Davis, who, by the way, I rate very highly, he beat him with ease every single time. And I know it's an amateur fight, but this guy's got unbelievable ability. The pro game is different, especially when you go into the championship rounds, especially when you go up against a puncher like Muratalla. This is going to be a tough kid. He ain't going to let his belt go without a big fight.
Well, Eddie, you have done it before with MJ Akhmadaliev with 8 fights. Let's see if you can break your record
we
here.
hope so.
All right. If you like what Eddie Hearn had to say, there'll be more tomorrow, 1 o'clock Pacific time for the weigh-in, 4 p.m. Eastern time. For Sergio Mora, I'm Todd Grisham. It's lights out, apparently, here at the Fountain Blue.
Someone paid a bill.
We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.
This is the moment the world has been waiting for. The judges are ready. The fighters are ready. The boxing world is ready. The fight starts now. Let's go.
How do you like it? On the show. So aggressive, so focused.
It all comes down to this. With a corner knockdown. Still the undisputed champion of the world.
Press conference live on DAZN.
Don't miss the biggest nights in MMA.
We are now set for the main event. Ronaldo with a shot. Let's go. One of the greats. Champions of the world.
There's all to play for, which is so exciting. These teams have to come in here and give it their all.
Have a real nice tempo. Goes baseline, watch out.
Oh, my!
Oh, baby! All the way down the runway for a big-time throwdown.
Well, that's a lot of fans out there.
Look at that. The drama keeps continuing, Jenny.
This is just brilliant.
He strikes. Starts as you mean to go on.
But this is the danger of the top 2 guys, and that nuclear weapon that is.
Whoa, hello, goodbye. Score! In the back of the net. And shoots. Score!
Of Serie A action. We'll bring you so much of it here on DAZN.
Magnificent. That is tremendous.
Catching up on any NFL game is easier than ever before.
Going deep for it all. Devontae Smith. He has got it. Touchdown.
Your Eagles are world champions again.
DAZN is the home of boxing. Really spurs you on, gets you going.
Let's make history. Pure power.